themselves.
The last pick, Braum, it's very good for the laning phase, and it means that the Blitzcrank has less valid targets. Taking away that front line obviously is a big factor, and you can stop kind of injury.
Uzi thought there was a ward. He definitely was like, I don't know about this, and I really wanted to try and get the short way around, but he's fine. He should be able to. But again, no flash now on 3 Qs. Beishong recognizing there is no flash. There is a Hex flash here, though. 1 hook is all that's going to be really needed. Mako trying to see if he can sacrifice himself, and he will. Flash forward there from Beishong means that he.
Top laners just never sent the invitation. It's like, guys, there's a party going on.
There is a bit of a party going on, and there's a bit of a solo bolo. It will be traded back 1 for 1. Flash for flash. Both TP. Actually, only TP.
I'm trying to think if this is particularly worth it. I think because Sejuani just used that flash in bot side, there are less options to gank this top side in the same kind of threat. I think as soon as Ale dashes forwards away from the turret, one's like, okay, alright, he can't walk away from my passive proc. However, does have to trade flash under that turret.
Gonna have to probably use it now in the next second or two. They do have red and white. Let's gonna fight. Flash on Wink, not going to be utilized just yet. They're still pushing himself forward. He knows he's dead to right, so he's not going to use off that summoner. Now, Ale looking for a little bit of a trade here in the top side. Wen knows he's dead, so he's just pulling down the cannon barrage to make sure he clears off the minion wave and doesn't lose anything else off the turret. And a little bit aggressive here from the IG. Mid and jungle, and now they're going to get caught out. They're going to see if they can catch out this Annie, who does flash away, drops down the Tibbers, and as I say that, Fofo already taken out, doesn't get to go all out because he was CC'd up. JJ seeing if he can maybe be a bit of a nuisance. Flash in, and again it's Mako who has to pay for Uzi, who flashes away. They're going to have to grab at him to try and slow this one down. There's no flash, there's no hook. Wink will be able to kind of scare him off, but
around the spot side jungle, they do find it in game 2. And this is what I'm talking about, right? JJ tries to get the initial stun onto Cryan and then follow up with an ult afterwards for some extra damage. It feels like an extra slow field there. Maybe going to help them a little bit more, and then Wink pulls out the hook.
He had to.
Mako, as you said, suffering for the rest of his team.
Yeah, I mean, look, Uzi had to flash straight it back here, as we do have Wen looking to see if he can trade a little bit more aggressively here, but the Infernal Chains knocks him all the way back. So now, going into the demonic state here, Ale looking to see if he can maybe take him out underneath the tower. Does have the flash. Does he have enough? Yes, he does. Does he get away? He will be able to tank up these minions, and there's nobody around. Ale go. So definitely not someone you want to take too lightly, but plenty of plates now going over to the side of IG.
Right there, that's the hook, but it's unstoppable. The knockback's ready.
The knockback is ready, and Wink is dead. Mako gets some revenge. There's the Glacial Fissure coming out, and Uzi coming in. Not the greatest of guns, but he does not care. Cyclone from Beishong to try and disengage. On goes up and lets the feathers fly. Great flash from On, though, to catch everybody out with the feathers. But they've got the red and white, and they want to fight. There's going to be the all-out to bring Beishong away from this fight, but now Uzi gets caught out by the anti-Tibbers. On picks up the Braum, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in that bot side. Now Wen, seeing if he can survive in this top lane. It's action all over the map right now, as Wen in a bit of a tizzy, but he will be able to trade back 1 for 1. Not a bad trade here for IG. There's fights all around the map, and I'm able to get it, but again, we're going to start all the way back at this top lane 1v1.
And Ale, he sees the game plank in the last game, starts racking his brains for what he can pull out in the next game if it came out again. And honestly, MVP in that, he had the steel caps, the extra armor, and the damage resist against auto attacks, really making the difference in the Aatrox Gangplank matchup alongside the boost speed as well. And then we see this fight towards bot side where you see the extended power of Braum. Once he gets that mark down, you have to start disengaging from that play. On though, great ultimate. Ooh. Stays out of that Q range from Braum, dodges that one, and I guess Wen's just dead
We
again.
ain't got time. Wen's dead. When is he dead? He's right now dead, and that's just gonna be the way this one goes. Ale 5-1 on this. All of this, it's all kind of centralized into this top lane.
I think every so often, Ale just wants to remind people that he's one of the best top laners in the LPL. Yes, had a bit of a fall-off towards the end of the last split into playoffs, and we were thinking more about top laners like 369 or Bin or Shanji.
Stop it. You haven't got time for analysis. You've only got time for fights, as we're going to see them now actually surviving for the moment. They finally take down Wink, but it's taken a little bit too long. Flash in, Tibbers, and On can clean up as well. You got Beishong looking to try and see if he can maybe get across this one here. They got to know he's coming right now. Uzi and Fofo, you need to leave. The Aatrox has not got teleports, which means he's running away as fast as he can. They still have Beishong moving in on top top of this one here. They want to try and make it work. Wen and Cryin trying to corral themselves in, moving in. There's a Cyclone right on top of Uzi. Cyclone number 2 is good, and Cryin picks up the kill. This is IG fighting with tooth and nail with EDG.
Like EDG, when they've been going towards this bot side of the map, their timing hasn't been quite right. Yes, they're starting off the plays fairly quickly, but you're not playing into the enchanters, which you can kill very quickly. You're playing into these heavy CC bot supports, and Arn gets out once again. It buys all the time for Cryin to make the game, well, the game-changing play, I suppose. This is a lot of gold given over to IG.
I mean, the thing is as well, IG just recognizing, cool, we can't fight the Aatrox, let's just not. Again, I talked about it, all that gold, all that advantage is focused into that Aatrox. If you just don't let him fight around, look at him on the minimap.
Running up in the mid lane, he's might be in difficulties on that side lane, but here comes Ale.
Oh, no cleanse onto On, means he's going to have to flash away. He does have the feathers to try and bring them back whenever he so chooses. There's the Gangplank dead. Not quite able to bring those feathers back just yet, as you can see them just kind of fading away. Try something, getting them on the soul point would be huge. Here we go, Wink looking for a hook. I don't know if he wanted that, never mind, they're going to turn straight onto Ale and take him out. Your most fed member is now dead. Beishan going to go in with the Cyclone, as the feathers already went down from On. He had to use the Feather Storm.
Quickly!
They go too quickly, and it's going to be Wink getting caught out. Great ultimate there onto Wen, forces out his orange to see if he'll BK, gets a flash out of him as well. They're throwing back damage here on top of the Aatrox. The Aatrox is dead. There's a massive Inferno though from Uzi, who's able to get so much work done completely untouched. And that means the rest of IG have to back them.
Wrong side of this wall. Even though you push in that mid lane, you're not safe. And as soon as the extra engage comes through, EDG know the fight is on. Yes, Ale gets caught, but the stun is only used onto the Aatrox. It's not a huge 5-6 kill Annie going onto the backline. And that means that Uzi sits there and goes, well, that's their threat gone. I'm just going to go burst out that backline. Job's done.
Now Ale jumping onto On here, who lets the feathers fly, but the Infernal Chains will still bring you back. He flashes, gets the feathers down as they look to try and burst out the Ale Aatrox. He is now 6-4.
He has himself some good weapons to get into the brawl as well. Cryin, he is the person to watch.
Yeah, looking at him straight in. Wen going to have to get cleansed in. Mako goes down. The Cyclone straight onto Uzi, who's trying to see if he can take out Beishan. There's a good ultimate there to try and pepper down this damage once more. All the chakrams, the red and the white.
Great range. He can hold himself at a choke point.
It's
EDG,
risky.
they have the ability to tank this. What ultimates have IG got to play with, though?
Not a lot, and they're going to see the engage coming straight in. Wink will die. Uzi tanking up a little bit, not exactly an ideal target. He's already down to half HP just because of the Baron. Now you're going to see Cryin coming back in here on trying to just heal up a little bit off of this blue buff. We've seen this fight before. Here we go. We're going to go for another 5v5, or sorry, 4v4. Cryin going golden at the last possible second. Oh my lord, does he stay alive? He does! How the hell does he do that? It means, though, he's going to have to reset. He doesn't have himself any kind of health bar to try and contest this, and we're still here, Nymera.
They can tank this for forever. They have 3 tanks in the top side and in their support as well. They're continually bringing IG to the Baron.
Here we go, Cryin still around. They're going to get the Baron secured here for the EDG. There's going to be the Cannon Barrage to try and stop them from getting on top of this, but there's a massive amount of damage, and they're going to turn it straight back onto Uzi. Run for your lives, EDG. You've tanked too much, and now the damage from IG is very, very potent. Morello Nomicon for Cryin is going to be huge to try and stop all this internal healing that has been available. There's a good hook right onto Ale, and he's going to get taken out straight away before this fight can really go in. On top of this one, the Uzi does flash away. Now it's a double kill coming in for Wen. Can they kill off this Cassante with that kill for it? Oh my god, that damage was huge, and now Uzi can move forward, has the cleanse, but unfortunately gets taken out right at the end. It ends up being a 4-for-3 trade, as IG, Wink, and Wen are the only 2 left alive.
IG with their remaining members can't go towards that objective. It starts off with a Blitzcrank hook. Wink has been actually pretty great on this Blitzcrank, pulling people out of position, pulling people into the rest of their team, and that allows the kind of softer engage coming in from IG to really land its mark, because once EDG are rallying forwards, trying to protect each other, it allowed Beishang to get on towards that backside. But of course, when you're going into these fights very heavily, EDG, they do have themselves a lot of damage. The only thing which really keeps that crazy...
And again, he's the tank. Getting
hit
by those barrels, JJ getting caught out here, but he's still very, very tanky, down to about half HP. The Cannon Barrage is using to tickle down Fofo's health bar, but not taking him too low. This is good from the side of EDG to keep themselves there. IG now have control, though, of that mid lane. Wink misses that first little Q. They're going to see a knockback here. The feathers come flying down. They're going to get the knock up, though. Massive damage coming out here from Uzi, right on top of Wink. But look at these health bars. It's going to be on Uzi to try and take them all out. Beishong does pick up a kill onto the Aatrox, and there we go. It's going to be onto the AD carries. It's Uzi versus the world. Where have we seen this one before? Infernum there as he goes 1v3. This is all on Uzi to make sure he can go for it, but they know, look at the health bars on IG. They can't take this fight. It's too risky.
This fight gets crazy right from the off. Wink with the 3-man silence, even after he gets caught, means that the top side of this fight goes about as even as Uzi doing all of his own stunts towards the bot side. Huge plays on both sides of that fight, but Arn stays alive too. It's not like it's just 180 carry alive at the end of the fight. The extended DPS from the Xayah still very, very notable going into this this late game. A very squishy team, and they're against that Mountain Soul. They can't. Whoa, that's a hook.
That is a hook right there. The Everfrost comes back down onto Mako. Mako trying to see if he can disengage, but the Cannon Barrage is just kind of tickling him down. He's very, very low, but not quite dead yet. They have to walk into them, but not great guns here for Uzi. He's now finally moved over to the red. Would love to make that a white there off of the Infernum, so we're going to see the Honey Fruit doing work here to make sure they get themselves totted up. Here we go, fully in, going to try and kill out on the Mako, who's taken very low and finally taken out. Ale has gone into the Ascension, and to see if he can maybe take somebody out on the backside of this. We'll get Wink, but we'll trade back his life. Fofo too low, and Uzi flashes away after the cleanse. Will he have enough to be able to survive? He will not, and Uzi is dead and buried. This is going to be the Elder Dragon. I know I'm chasing him back, but knows he doesn't have to kill him to end the game. Uzi back in 13 seconds, Ale back in 10. Have IG done enough to extend this series?
I don't know. Ale's up in 4, and he has stopwatch, flash, and ult. This is going to be a close run thing.
Here we go. We're going to go in. Here's Ale. Here's Uzi. Mako goes down. They still got themselves crying to try and jump on top of it here. He immediately drops down the Tibbers to keep Uzi at bay. The Sejuani has died. Ale will go down to the Elder very, very shortly. Finally does end up dropping. Finally, they get the Cyclone down onto Uzi, who's trying to just defend himself. Beishong goes down. Eventually, Wen finds him with the flash Q, and that's a triple kill for the rookie top laner of IG, and this series shall go on.